made a template. The template I just did define. If you didn't know you could do that, you can do that in a template, and this gives it a name. And then it's just HTML from there on. Actually, this should probably be like that. And it's just HTML from there on. I added some styles, and inside the body, I just have a form, and I put method post, and then I made a small table and created a label, and then made an email field, and a first name field, and a last name field, and I just put these inside of it. So I'm going to pre-fill my form with the values. And then inside my Go code, I created a router, and then I said for slash, just go to show index. For slash profile, go to show profile. For a post to slash profile, go to update profile. Show index just redirects to the profile page. The profile, what he does is parse the template. I create the App Engine context. I create a user. I create a key. The key is going to be the profile and the name, the email. So it'll be like test@example.com, and that's going to be the key. So for each new user to the system, they'll have a different email address, they'll have a different profile. And so then I have this profile type, you can see up here is just email, first name, last name. The email is redundant, I don't really need it, but it doesn't hurt to have it. And so what I do is I try to get the profile. If that fails, if I'm unable to get the profile, I just give it the email. And so the first name, last name will be the empty string, which is fine. So the first time you come here, you won't have a first name and last name, but you can fill it in. When you submit the form, it goes to update profile, and so in a very similar way, I create the key the exact same way, but this time I create the profile, I set the email and the first name and last name from the form, and then I put it in there. Okay, and so then I just redirect at the end back to this page, and it will show it. So it does a put, and then down up here, it does a get immediately. And so I can see if I change it. So here's my form. If I change it over here, it fills in the form, right? So in the data store, we can see, there it is. So really easy, if we were to add a field, we can do so. I don't know what's in it. And basically you'd say all the rest of this stuff, maybe age. Right, and then you give it a name, then an ID for the form, then the value. So I added this field to the template, and the next step is you add it to your struct. Age is an int, and then I go down here, and I fill it here, but I can't just do it that way because it's an int, so I have to say age a2i rect.form value age. I convert it to an int. If it's a bad value, it would be 0. Maybe that's fine. So I put it in there, and then over here it should automatically fill it for me. So that's easy. And then over here I'm doing an age, so it should fill it there. So let's see what happens. No, that's the wrong one. So it says 0. I put 1, update, comes back 1. We look in the data store, and it should be updated there as well. So if I change it here, it changes it over here. So it's really easy to add fields with the data store. Like I said, that's the schema list. If you were using SQL, you'd have to do a migration, which can get complicated. So it's nice we don't have to do that. Any questions about this?
Yeah, can you go back to the code? Why did you add age inside the function there? Go back to the main.
So I added it to the type.
I see where you had it there, but you added it down below too.
Well, this is the updating, and so I'm pulling it out of the form, converting it into an integer, and then saving it here. And then the put replaces it. So that'll fill in the age field.
Why is it different from naming the first name and last name?
Oh, because I have to convert it into an integer. Those are strings.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, if I didn't have to do this, I could put it in there.
In the key line, 58, can you explain again what the 0 and the nil are?
Yeah. So here's the ancestor. We haven't really talked about the ancestor, so it's just nil for now. The 0 is if it were an integer ID, I would put a number in there instead, but I'm using the string ID, so I put it here. So it's like you either have this or this, but not both. My key is the email. Right, so if I logged in as a different user, so I went down here, cleared the cookies, refreshed. Oh, I have a bug somewhere. Somewhere. 42. Oh, yeah, yep. That would do it. I didn't have it requiring login. So if I give it a different user, test2 at example.com. See, it's all blank, right? And then in my data store, it's, so you can have any users in there. They're each separate. Pretty straightforward. And so you could add more to this. So the data store is pretty easy to work with in general. And we can do querying and stuff. We could make an admin page where you can list all the users or something. So I will commit this real quick. And what we're going to do is change this to be slightly different. Okay, so I am going to go up folder and copy user profile and make one called user-profile-ajax. And copy -R. And this one we will use Ajax to do this. And so the idea here is that, so this is a common way of writing a server-side web application where you render a template, you fill it in with values that you've queried from the database, and it's rendering the HTML as the response to a request, right? So when I go to this URL up here, I get back HTML. An alternative approach to this problem is to render HTML and have JavaScript fill in the form. And then when I click Save, have JavaScript bundle up the data, send it as JSON to the server, and do all the drawing in JavaScript instead. Okay? And that is a very common pattern, and so I'll show you how to do that instead. And the idea is that